Aaliyah, when you kind of get in these zones, and you scored I think 12 in the fourth quarter overtime against Stanford, you had 23 in the second half today. When you're in that zone, what does that kind of feel like, and what do you think you have working so well when you kind of go on these tears?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of just in attack mode. I think the second half, just like you said, I made more shots than I did in the first half, but just stayed confident with it and just took good shots.
Jeremiah and then Howard.
Yeah, Aaliyah, in that first quarter, you guys obviously had the hole, and then in the second quarter, that lineup kind of, what was kind of the switch that was split between that first quarter and second quarter?
Camilla was the switch. I think she was just dominant. She got the ball, she rebounded, she scored, and she made it hard for them. And I think that's what we've been working on in practice, just her continuing to be dominant. And I think today she did a great job of executing that.
Howard, and then we'll go to Emily.
Hi, Aliyah. In terms of your three-point shot, it seems like there's more comfort there than ever. Can you just take me through how often Dawn encourages you to shoot it, and where you think the development of that three-pointer is in your game?
Yeah, Coach definitely encourages me to shoot it. Sometimes she probably wants me to shoot a little bit more than I actually do. I think just it's developed over time, just the confidence. And I think today, I shot 3, which that impressed me myself, but she definitely encourages me to do it.
Emily, go ahead.
Aaliyah, for you guys, to get out to the start that you did in that first half and then tie it in the second quarter, I mean, you didn't have time to go to the locker room and make those kind of adjustments. Just what was the dialogue like on the sideline, during that switch between the first and second quarter?
Just continue to play our game. Coach told us it's a 40-minute game. You don't win a game in the first quarter, second, or third, so just continue to play. And that's what we did. We just were patient. Our shots were beginning to fall, and our defense was just continuing.
On the back left and then next to you.
Hi, I'm Tara from the Globe. I just wanted to ask you about the atmosphere, if you did end up having family here, and just, how you would sort of characterize it. Obviously, you got very close late, just kind of the entire atmosphere.
It was a great atmosphere. It almost felt like we were back in the tournament last year. I just felt like there were just so many people and big crowd, which was really, really nice. I have a lot of family, so I'm really excited to see them after this. But
Go ahead, and then we'll go to Doug.
Oh wait, can you maybe elaborate a little bit more on when Camilla's in the game, how that changes for you? Because you were getting a lot of, a ton of attention paid to you.
yeah, I think, teams have to figure out how to guard both. We get the ball into Camilla, she shoots it, and she finishes well around the basket, and I think just even rebounding. And she's a defensive presence. When they see her attacking the basket, they might change their mind about going in. And for me, we've been playing together for a while now, so it doesn't really affect me much. I just know what she's doing. I know what we want, especially when we're in the game together, and so I try to execute that.
Doug, and then we'll finish on Alexa. Go ahead, Doug.
Aliyah, good to see you. That fourth quarter, I think you had 14 points, you had 11 in a row at one stretch to sort of get the lead to double digits. Did you sense it's your time to sort of take control there, or just that's the way the offense was going and you rotate?
That's just the way the offense was going. I think we set up plays, we knew how they were defending, and we just made adjustments, and it worked out. Thanks, Coach.
Alexa, and then we'll finish in the back.
Hi, Aliyah. Raven had a huge game today, playing almost the entire game. What did you see from her, especially as a younger player, to be able to come out with such big plays on the defensive floor?
I think everyone saw the type of player that Raven is. She passed the ball really well. She makes it hard for the other team. She picks up full court and continues that pressure. And she ran our offense pretty well, pushed pace, and that's what we like to do.
We'll finish in the back.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Quan Sunday from Channel 3 here in Hartford. I'm curious, with the matchups between UConn and South Carolina over the past few years, what do you think that a win like today says about not just the rise of your program, but that this can be an annual sort of battle?
Yeah, it was a great game. I think it just says that both programs are pretty great programs, and that we're always going to come to compete, and so everyone should always buy tickets to come watch. It's going to be fun.
Thank you, Aaliyah.
Thank you.
He's going to walk you back. All right, we'll take questions for Coach Staley.
It was all in game. Raven, we know is going to push tempo. Raven, we know is going to pick the ball up. I thought she did a phenomenal job on Mule and disrupted. She wasn't a primary point guard. We wanted somebody else to initiate their offense, just as some sort of disruption. And then when we got in the half court, she didn't let her touch the ball without her actually feeling her. And then when Mule doesn't have it, that's the country's leader in assists. She can't really make people better if she doesn't really have the ball. And we were hoping by the time the fourth quarter came around that she was just too tired to do some other stuff. She wasn't, but that was our whole objective. And we had to have her on the floor because she was that impactful defensively and offensively.
Jeremiah, and then Emily and Alan.
Dawn, of course.
Okay, our local media's here. Shout out to your bosses for opening that budget up.
Rebuild gets the 2 fouls first quarter. Bree Hall also gets the 2 fouls. You end up putting in the same lineup for that whole second quarter. Just what did you like about that group and how they were kind of able to type it?
I like their aggressiveness. I like the fact that they were grinding it out. It wasn't pretty, but it was just making sure that they didn't get open looks. We want to make sure that Lopez did not get open looks, and you saw what she could do in the fourth quarter. Very little space. I thought we had some lapses, and we didn't switch out, and she got some. She wasn't wide open, but enough for her. I just like that group. They play fast. They were able to play on the fly. They were able to execute what we needed to execute on both sides of the basketball, and found ourselves back in the basketball game.
Alan, and then Emily.
You've been talking a lot this year about needing Camila to be dominant. You said it Thursday. What does a dominant Camila Cardoso kind of look like or mean to you in that moment after she found out? You kind of went out on the court to see her. What can you take us through that moment?
It starts in practice. She really has to take it a lot more seriously because she is. There's not a whole lot like her. She's mobile. She's efficient. She rebounds the basketball even if it's her own misses. And she's a shot blocker. She's an intimidation factor, and she needs to play that way all the time because, like I said, if she doesn't have the performance that she had today, we lose the basketball game. If we could play a little bit better, some of our other players could be a little more efficient, then she's a difference in it not being as close as it is.
But after the foul out with the tech, we went on the court to see her.
Yeah, she's not a robot. Like I told you, you're not a robot. You're not a robot. You have emotions. I thought it was quick. Considering what happens out in our game, it was pretty quick. So I'm not gonna beat our players up for being who they are. It's a tight game. She thought she made a good play on the ball. She reacted. It was well within the game.
Emily, and then Alexa.
I'm not gonna get fined for that, Emily.
Let's see what happens. Emily, go ahead.
Coach, for some of those younger players, Breezy and Raven, how did you feel like they handled, just kind of the intensity of this rivalry and this environment that you guys were in tonight?
The younger players handled it well. Sometimes after the decompressing and debriefing on the game, there were probably times in which we could have played Breezy a little bit more, but I chose to go with our experienced players. I thought Raven just handled the situation well. She really doesn't get too high with the highs or lows. She just plays there isn't, she just wants to win. She plays like a winner.
Alexa.
Hi, John. What sorts of takeaways do you want your team to have from a game like this that can help you all towards your ultimate goals for April?
Yeah, this was a national championship-like game. So I want us to feel what it takes in order for us to do this, to do it in the first round, the second round, Sweet 16, Elite Eight. It's going to take this kind of effort and attention to detail. And, the crowd may not be in our favor, but we have to lock in. And I hope, I know we got enough in the locker room that really understands what it takes. I hope our younger players really take in being in this environment, and they may not play, but you gotta feel it, and you gotta go through it, you gotta see it, and then it possibly can help you practice a little bit better.
Tara, and then Billy. And
How
then
you doing? We talked so much about your depth, which really shined through in a lot of different players today, but of course it came back statistically and in the second half in particular to Aaliyah. Can you just speak to kind of her arc in today's game, what she means to your team in general, to Aaliyah? Yeah, and just, how she kind of came on so much stronger in today's game and really just means to your
Yeah.
team on a national level came back to her.
I mean, Aaliyah is, she's just relentless. She plays relentlessly. And although, you know, she had a subpar as far as statistics when she didn't get a field goal, she impacted the game. Like, they're scheming. They're scheming to defend her in a certain way, whether they bring the double, you know, whether they bring the, you know, triple, whether they, you know, single cover her. She's got to see it all. She does a great job at reading it, and she doesn't get flustered. Like, she knew she didn't play statistically up to her standard. So what does she do? Raise her standard. That's her. Win, lose, or draw. Good, bad, first half or not, she's going to continue to play. There's nobody that pursues the basketball more than her. Nobody that wants to win more than her. And I mean, she backs it up.
Go ahead.
Don, did you even need to say anything to her at halftime, or you just, by this point, that's all that comes from within?
I don't need to say anything, but I do say something because I want to let her know that. I told her and Zion, you guys don't have a basket like a field goal. Don't worry about that. Don't bring that into the second half. Like, just be who you are. It'll fall. You're not taking bad shots. And when you don't take bad shots, good shots are going to find their way in the basket. And that's what happens. Or sometimes you're going to have to just go get a bucket, no matter what that looks like. Through fouling, just got to go get a bucket. And she did that through offensive rebounding first, and then we got her the ball. We got her the ball where she was mainly single covered, at least for the catch, and then she can work through whatever they throw at her.
And did at the end of the first quarter, I mean, you guys looked like kind of picked things up defensively in the second quarter. I mean, what happened? What'd you say in the huddle?
I said it's a 40-minute game, you know, and you know, I know the storyline has been, you know, they don't have a whole lot of depth. So thank you. I just said that, you know, we just have to we got depth. We got players that, you know, can play a lot of minutes. If they can't, then we'll bring somebody else in. Like, we utilize our depth, we utilize our size, utilize our ability to keep pressure on them. Although they played a great game. It was a great game for college women's basketball, because we were back and forth. It was a 12-point game. It ended up being a one-possession game, you know, at the end of the fourth quarter. And I just really think our depth paid off.
All right, we're gonna go to Doug, and then we'll take two more in the back, and then we gotta go.
So Doug.
Hey, Doug. Nice sweatshirt. Good luck next weekend. If this time of year people start talking player of the year or national, and Aaliyah, I mean, every big game seems to have a great game. And the Stanford game, then today I should say, fourth quarter had 12 straight points for you. You're running things for her. She said she credited you for making those calls. But just what is it about a big game that she seems to step up and do what you guys need to get the wins?
I mean, Aaliyah only wants to win. Like, she doesn't, you know, she doesn't get flustered. You know, she just plays. She's such a highly intelligent player. Like, I think her intellect is off the charts. Her IQ is off the charts. She sees it, and she can actually do it. Some players can see it, but can't execute it. They see it. They can tell you everything that's supposed to happen, but they can't get there. I mean, she sees it. I mean, I listen to her in practice, and she is telling our younger players what to do, where to go on the sideline. Like, and I try to tell our young players, like, are you listening to what she's saying? Like, are you ever going to be able to do that for a younger player? Because she's locked in. Like, she studies it. It's her lifestyle. This is what she wants to do. She's always wanted to be great, and she works at it. Like, she works at it, but she rises to the top in big games because she wants to win, and she considers herself to have a high standard of playing and performing and executing, and she doesn't let herself off the hook ever, no matter what's happening out there.
We're gonna take the last two in the back, Beth, and then, yeah.
Don, we talked Friday after practice about how important and how difficult it is to get this win in Connecticut. And that's kind of a monkey off your back milestone, wherever you want to put it. How do you characterize it? And it's evident why it's so difficult to do, but how important is that in this program's journey?
I mean, it's in the whole grand scheme of things, it's really not important. But you know, for your psyche, like for us, you know, to win this game, when we beat UConn in the regular season, great things happen in the postseason. So this is our only opportunity for us to play, and you got to have some success. You got to feel some success, or else you play them again and you've lost that game. It does give you a little bit of doubt that you can't beat them. So it was good for our players. I'm happy for our, you know, Aaliyah's class who have done incredible things, historical things against UConn. And this is one of the things that we hadn't been able to do, and I'm glad for them. Like it's completed when it comes to playing UConn, and that's because they're the standard. They're the standard of college women's basketball. And when you're able to have this type of success that we've had, it's always a great, incredible thing that you share with your family members, and you certainly put it on your resume, because there are a lot of people that can't do it.
All right, wrap us up again.
Thanks. Hi, I'm Sonia, Channel 3 here in Hartford. I'm curious, with your history in the game, what's it like to have not just this program, but to play the standard, as you say, to have it take center stage in front of a national audience and have it be the game that it's become?
It's great, you know. A lot of people say, why do you play this game? You're right in the middle of your conference schedule. We got a tough league that we play in. I play it because I want our players to play on the biggest stage always, like always. Win, lose, or draw, we have to participate in these experiences to measure ourselves, to be great. And I mean, why wouldn't you want to play in a national televised sold out game when you have people who say people don't watch women's basketball, they don't come to women's basketball? Well, I saw StubHub, $700 for this ticket to get in the game today. That's, I don't really buy tickets, but that's comparable. That's comparable to, probably not Super Bowl, but I mean, we are marketable. We are a value sport, and once people start treating us like that, you're going to see us be a multi-hundred-millionaire sport. Because I do think we got the product, we got the coaches, we got the players, we got the fans. So we have it all. So let us loose.